Have you ever found yourself wondering why some men thrive in relationships while others seem to lose themselves completely? What if the key isn't just love but the wisdom to navigate it? Relationships can either be a source of incredible growth or a silent thief of your peace, dignity, and dreams. The difference lies in understanding how to approach them. In this video, we're diving deep into 9 timeless principles inspired by Stoic philosophy that every man should master to protect his peace, strengthen his relationships, and stay true to himself. From learning the importance of keeping your past private to avoiding excessive dependency, each of these principles can completely transform how you approach love and connection. But this isn't just about avoiding mistakes, it's about building a life you're proud of, one decision at a time. You'll discover how to face your fear of being alone, protect your mental health, and even embrace your achievements without apology. And here's the best part. These insights don't just apply to relationships. They're life lessons that will help you conquer challenges, achieve your goals, and find true happiness. So why should you watch until the end? Because each principle builds on the last, creating a roadmap for a stronger, more authentic you. Miss even one, and you risk falling into the same traps that keep countless men stuck in unfulfilling cycles. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how to avoid these pitfalls, but also learn how to create relationships that empower you and inspire those around you. Stick with us. You're about to unlock the wisdom that could change your life forever. Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Keep your past private. The very first principle we must confront is the delicate art of safeguarding your past. Imagine your past as an old weathered book, filled with chapters that shaped who you are today. Yet, not every chapter needs to be read by others. Have you ever heard the saying, "Old thoughts come back to haunt us like ghosts of past decisions"? How true it is, especially when it comes to relationships. Relationships are built on trust and understanding, yes, but they also thrive on the mystery and intrigue that makes each person unique. Far too often, even the wisest men fall into the trap of thinking that baring their souls, laying out every failure, mistake, and regret, demonstrates emotional maturity. They believe that by opening up, they are fostering a deeper connection. And I get it. I do. It feels like vulnerability should lead to intimacy, like sharing those dark corners of your life will bring you closer. But the hard truth? Once you've shared those pieces of yourself, there's no undoing it. You've handed someone the keys to parts of your heart that you can't lock again. Think about it this way. Does revealing every scar make you stronger, or does it leave you exposed? In my opinion, true emotional maturity lies in understanding which parts of your story should remain sacred, known only to you. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about protecting your essence. Some parts of your past are like fragile heirlooms. Not everyone will handle them with care. I've seen it happen. A man shares his struggles, his failures, and the moments he isn't proud of, believing his partner will admire his honesty. And maybe, at first, they do. But over time, those same confessions can become weapons in arguments, seeds of doubt, or even a source of unintended pity. Is that the legacy you want for your most personal stories? Keep your past private. Not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Your past is a treasure chest of lessons and growth, not a burden for others to carry or judge. Share carefully, and only when the time and person truly deserve it. By doing so, you honor yourself and preserve the respect and dignity that every strong relationship needs to thrive. I've seen countless men, brave enough to bare their souls and share their most vulnerable insecurities, deeply rooted relationship scars, and the weight of personal struggles, only to watch in disbelief as these heartfelt confessions were later twisted and used as weapons against them. It's a betrayal that cuts deeper than most wounds, leaving behind a sense of regret, distrust, and emotional isolation. It's as if, in trying to connect and be understood, they handed over the keys to their inner world, only to see them turned into locks against their freedom. The Stoics, in their timeless wisdom, remind us that not everything must be spoken aloud, and not every truth deserves to see the light of day. Their teachings are a gentle but firm warning. Guard your past as you would a sacred treasure. Imagine your history as a chest filled with priceless jewels, not something you'd throw open for every passerby to admire. It is reserved only for those rare few who have shown, through actions and unwavering loyalty, that they are worthy custodians of your trust. Here's the harsh reality. What you share in the glow of intimacy and connection can later become sharp-edged ammunition in the heat of anger or resentment. And nothing stings quite like having your truths hurled back at you in a moment of conflict. So, how do you protect yourself without closing off completely? The answer lies in being intentional and discerning. Share your past in layers, like peeling back an onion, only revealing the heart of it to someone who has proven their integrity over time. Be mindful and deliberate. What you share should have a purpose, a reason to build a relationship in the present, not to satisfy fleeting curiosity or pressure. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. In this context, the best defense is not to give away your power by oversharing prematurely. It's not about being cold or secretive. It's about valuing yourself enough to recognize that not everyone is entitled to your full story. Your past is a part of you, yes, but it does not define you. Share it with care, with wisdom, and with those who've shown they will honor it, not exploit it. After all, protecting your heart and your peace is not selfish, it's self-respect. Mystery isn't just an intriguing quality. It's a powerful shield that safeguards the essence of who you are. Think about it. Your past, with all its triumphs, struggles, and deeply personal moments, is like a rare and precious gem. It doesn't belong out in the open for anyone to casually inspect or judge. Instead, it deserves to be protected and cherished. By keeping certain parts of your story private, you're not being secretive or evasive. You're exercising self-respect and valuing the sacredness of your experiences. Your journey is uniquely yours, filled with lessons and memories that shaped the person you are today. Sharing it should feel like an act of trust and connection, not an obligation. When you choose to open up, do so with those who have proven themselves worthy. People who truly value, honor, and cherish your truth. After all, there's something profoundly empowering about holding onto the parts of yourself that are only for you or those you deeply trust. It's not about hiding. It's about honoring your worth and the treasures of your heart. Remember, your past isn't just a story to tell. It's a testament to your strength, resilience, and growth. Treat it with the care it deserves, because you are worth protecting. And trust me, those who genuinely care for you will understand and appreciate this quiet confidence more than anything. Number 2. Face your fear of being alone. Let's dive into something deeply personal. Something most men would rather keep buried beneath layers of pride and bravado. The fear of being alone. This fear isn't just a passing thought. For many, it's a persistent shadow, whispering doubts and insecurities in moments of vulnerability. Aristotle once said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Yet, for countless men, the journey of self-discovery is often overshadowed by a haunting reluctance to embrace solitude. It's as if the silence of being alone feels louder and more unbearable than the chaos of a toxic relationship. Take a moment to reflect on this. How many times have you seen someone, maybe even yourself, cling to the wrong person, not out of love, but out of sheer terror at the thought of facing the world alone? It's heartbreaking, isn't it? It's like standing in the middle of a burning house, choking on smoke and flames, yet choosing to stay because the thought of stepping into the cold, uncertain night feels more terrifying. But here's the thing. Staying in that burning house isn't just self-destructive, it's denying yourself the chance to breathe fresh air, to heal, to rebuild. I've felt that fear too. The kind that keeps you awake at night, questioning your worth, wondering if being alone means you've somehow failed. But the truth is, solitude isn't the enemy, it's an opportunity. It's a chance to strip away the noise, confront your doubts, and truly understand who you are without the influence of anyone else. The cold outside might sting at first, but it's in that discomfort where growth begins. The house you rebuild for yourself will be stronger, safer, and filled with the warmth of self-respect and self-love. Don't let the fear of being alone keep you trapped in a situation that drains your soul. Step into the cold. It's not as frightening as it seems. It might just be the start of your greatest transformation. The Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, remind us of a truth that resonates deeply in our modern lives. The fear of emptiness, of being alone, often causes far more harm than the emptiness itself ever could. I've seen this firsthand in my work with some of the most accomplished individuals. Successful businessmen, CEOs, and influential leaders. Men who could navigate the complexities of boardrooms with ease but were utterly paralyzed by the thought of facing a quiet Friday night alone. These men, outwardly powerful and commanding, would rather subject themselves to the chaos of toxic relationships, endure disrespect, or even suffer emotional abuse than confront the haunting specter of solitude. It's heartbreaking to witness how the fear of being alone can strip even the strongest individuals of their power, leaving them vulnerable and dependent on anyone who offers the mere semblance of companionship. This fear doesn't just weaken, it enslaves. The Stoics understood this deeply. They taught that true strength lies not in avoiding solitude but in embracing it, in finding peace within oneself. After all, how can a man ever truly know if he is with someone out of genuine love or simply as a desperate escape from his loneliness? When fear dictates our relationships, clarity and authenticity are the first casualties. How can we make wise, self-respecting choices when every decision is clouded by a frantic need to fill the silence within? The truth is, we cannot. And in that haze of desperation, we risk losing not only our dignity but also our chance for real, meaningful connections. To me, this lesson from the Stoics isn't just philosophical, it's personal. It's a call to courage, to face ourselves fully, without the noise of distractions or the crutch of others' presence. Yes, solitude can feel daunting, even excruciating at times, but it is also a crucible where true self-awareness and inner strength are forged. When we stop fearing our own company, we discover a kind of freedom that no one else can grant us and no one can take away. And in that freedom lies the power to build relationships rooted not in fear but in love, respect, and mutual choice. For me, this is not just wisdom, it's a lifeline. A reminder that solitude is not an enemy to be avoided but a teacher, one that guides us to the strength we carry within. So, what's the solution to this deeply emotional challenge that so many of us face? It begins with small, steady steps forward. Steps that may seem insignificant at first but carry the weight of transformation over time. Start by learning to truly enjoy your own company, embrace the quiet moments, and find solace in the stillness of solitude. This journey is not just about being alone. It's about discovering the profound strength and beauty that come from being at peace with yourself. Here's where the magic happens. Once you cultivate that inner calm, something remarkable begins to shift. You no longer seek others to simply fill the empty spaces in your life. Instead, you start drawing people into your orbit who genuinely enrich your existence. Those who bring joy, love, and meaning, rather than merely occupying a void. Isn't that the kind of connection we all yearn for? The kind that feels like sunshine breaking through after a storm? Remember this. Being alone is not a sign of weakness or failure. It's a testament to your courage, your resilience, and your unwavering belief in your worth. It's the ultimate declaration that you would rather stand strong and whole, even in solitude, than settle for something that chips away at your heart out of fear of being alone. Trust me, waiting for what you truly deserve is far more fulfilling than clinging to what you're afraid to lose. You deserve a life and love that's worth the wait. Number 3. Manage your time wisely. Let's delve into a subject that resonates with so many of us. A subject that feels like a quiet thief stealing from our lives without us even noticing, wasting our most irreplaceable resource, time. Time, the one thing we can never reclaim once it's gone, often slips through our fingers as we focus on things or people who don't truly value us. Seneca, the wise Stoic philosopher, once remarked with profound clarity, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." And oh, how painfully true this is, especially in the context of our relationships. Take a moment to reflect on this. How many countless hours have you spent overanalyzing that one ambiguous text message, dissecting every word as though it held the key to your happiness? How many restless nights have you wasted waiting for a call that never came, your heart sinking a little more with each passing hour? How often have you bent over backward on weekends, rearranging your plans, sacrificing your peace, and exhausting your energy to please someone who wasn't even sure about you, someone who barely met you halfway? It's heartbreaking, isn't it? To realize that the time you gave so freely, so earnestly, might never be reciprocated or appreciated in the way you hoped. But here's the painful truth. Time spent on people who don't genuinely value your presence is time stolen from the people, dreams, and experiences that truly deserve it. In my opinion, managing time wisely isn't just about cutting out distractions. It's about reclaiming your self-worth. It's about recognizing that your minutes, your hours, and your days are treasures. You owe it to yourself to invest in them where they can flourish, and where they are met with equal care, respect, and sincerity. Life is far too fleeting to waste on overthinking or on individuals who leave you questioning your worth. Let's make a pact to treasure time more fiercely. Let's promise to stop pouring our energy into people who drain us, and instead, pour it into our passions, our dreams, and those who uplift and inspire us. After all, when you manage your time wisely, you're not just preserving your hours, you're reclaiming your life. As Marcus Aurelius wisely reflected, time is like a river. Once it passes, it's gone forever. This simple yet profound truth resonates deeply, especially as I look around and see countless men sacrificing their most vibrant years chasing after people who only see them as a fallback option. It's heartbreaking to watch. They press pause on their dreams, put their aspirations on the back burner, and push aside their own needs just to accommodate someone who likely wouldn't cross the street for them in return. They skip workouts that could strengthen both their body and spirit, cancel plans with friends who bring joy and camaraderie, and delay personal growth, all for the fleeting hope of being valued by someone who doesn't truly see their worth. This imbalance is a painful reality, one we all need to confront. The bitter truth is that while you're bending over backward to make someone a priority, they may be calmly keeping you as an option, a convenience. How devastating is that? The Stoics, in their timeless wisdom, grasp something so essential about life and time. It is the most precious, irreplaceable resource we possess. You can always rebuild your finances, repair relationships, or seize new opportunities. But time, once it slips through your fingers, is gone forever. And here's where the emotional weight comes in. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing that so much of your time was given away to people or pursuits that didn't truly matter. That thought terrifies me. It makes my heart ache to think of the countless dreams deferred, the friendships neglected, and the self-respect eroded, all for the approval or love of someone who never reciprocated. Time is sacred, and every second we spend must honor the life we want to build and the person we aspire to be. So, let's stop living as if we have an infinite supply. Every day is a chance to reclaim our time and choose wisely where we invest it. For once it flows past us, as the river Marcus Aurelius spoke of, it's lost to us forever. So, what's the solution to this all-too-common struggle? The answer lies in recognizing your time for what it truly is. A priceless treasure that you can never get back. Think about it. Every hour, every day, every month you spend with someone is a piece of your life you're sharing. Before you hand over these irreplaceable moments, take a step back and ask yourself some hard questions. Are they pouring the same effort and energy into you as you are into them? Are you both genuinely building something meaningful together, or are you simply trying to fill an emotional void that leaves you feeling emptier in the end? Time is a gift, and one of the most profound acts of self-respect is to treat it as such. A wise person doesn't just safeguard their money, they guard their time with even greater care. Why? Because money can be earned back, but once time is gone, it's gone forever. When we give our time to someone who doesn't value it, or worse, doesn't value us, we're not just wasting minutes or hours. We're losing parts of ourselves, parts of our dreams, our joy, and our future. I deeply believe that managing your time is an act of self-love and clarity. It's about standing firm and saying, I am worth more than mindless conversations, one-sided relationships, and empty promises. It's about refusing to let your life be a collection of moments spent on people who don't see your worth. Remember, every second you waste on the wrong person is a second stolen from the right one. The person who will truly cherish you, support you, and grow with you. So, pause for a moment and reflect. Who is deserving of this sacred currency called your time? Let your answer guide you, because the quality of your life is built on the foundation of how wisely you spend your time and whom you spend it with. Choose wisely, because your time is not just a resource. It's your legacy. It's you. Number 4. Be proud of your achievements. Here's a powerful yet perplexing truth that many intelligent and accomplished men grapple with. The more they achieve, the more they tend to shrink back from celebrating those triumphs in their relationships. It's almost as if success comes with an invisible weight of guilt or fear, a sense that acknowledging your greatness could somehow push others away. Epictetus once wisely remarked, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." But let's pause and reflect for a moment. There's an ocean of difference between practicing humility and dimming your light to fit into someone else's comfort zone. I've personally seen this happen time and time again. Men who have climbed mountains of ambition, who've poured blood, sweat, and tears into building their empires, suddenly become hesitant to embrace those victories when it comes to love and connection. It's heartbreaking to witness. These are men who have launched thriving businesses, earned prestigious accolades, and shattered glass ceilings of innovation. And yet when they sit across from someone they care about, they downplay it all as if their dreams were mere afterthoughts. They minimize their brilliance, their drive, and their hard-earned success, all in an attempt to seem more relatable or less intimidating. But why? Why do men who should feel proud and unapologetically confident in their achievements end up tucking them away like hidden treasures? The answer often lies in a deep-seated fear, a fear that being too successful might alienate others. Somewhere along the journey, they've internalized the belief that showing ambition, confidence, or pride in their success might be perceived as arrogance or worse, a threat. And so, they silence themselves, believing this makes them more approachable, more likable, more normal. This, to me, is a tragedy wrapped in misunderstanding. Hiding your light doesn't make you more lovable. It makes you invisible. True connections aren't built on shrinking to fit into someone else's expectations. They're forged in authenticity. And what could be more authentic than owning your journey, your struggles, and your triumphs? There's no shame in being proud of what you've accomplished. In fact, sharing your achievements can inspire and attract people who truly appreciate your worth. So let me say this with all the emotion and passion this topic deserves. Stop apologizing for being amazing. The right people in your life will celebrate your wins with you, not shy away from them. Let your light shine, because dimming it serves no one. Not you, not your partner, and certainly not the world that desperately needs more men who dare to embrace their greatness unapologetically. Be proud. Be bold. And most importantly, be unapologetically you. Listen closely and hold this truth in your heart. If your successes, no matter how hard-earned, make someone else uncomfortable, it is not your responsibility to soothe their discomfort. This is a reflection of their insecurities, not their worth. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless wisdom, reminds us, "The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that." These words ring like a bell of clarity, urging us not to lower ourselves to the pettiness or jealousy of others. Your light, the glow of your dedication, the brilliance of your persistence, the warmth of your triumphs, is not something to dim just because it blinds those who have chosen to remain in the shadows of their fears. Be unapologetically proud of what you've achieved. This isn't about arrogance or boasting. It's about honoring your journey. Think of the sleepless nights, the tears you've cried, the doubts you've fought to silence, and the courage it took to take one more step when everything in you wanted to quit. Every victory you hold, big or small, is a testament to your resilience and determination. Why should you ever downplay that? The truth is, there will always be people who are threatened by your success. They may try to belittle you, minimize your efforts, or make you feel guilty for shining too brightly. But their reactions are not yours to carry. You owe it to yourself to stand tall, to keep striving, and to let your light shine as a beacon of what is possible for anyone willing to do the work. Celebrate your achievements, not to prove anyone wrong, but to remind yourself of how far you've come and inspire others to pursue their dreams. After all, the darkness is only unsettling to those who fear the dawn. Let your light shine boldly, fiercely, and with a heart full of gratitude for the journey that brought you here. You've earned it, and no one can take that away from you. A strong woman doesn't just seek a man with ambition and drive. She seeks someone who isn't afraid to embrace and celebrate his success openly. She craves a partner who doesn't shy away from his achievements, but uses them as a way to inspire her to dream bigger and aim higher in her own life. This is about more than material wealth or accolades. This is about character, confidence, and the courage to own your story without apology. So, what's the key? It's simple yet profound. Own your journey unapologetically. Share your victories not to boast or impress, but to uplift and encourage. A strong, self-assured woman will never feel diminished or threatened by your success. Instead, she'll see it as a spark, igniting her aspirations and fueling her excitement to stand beside you in the next thrilling chapter of your life. That kind of connection isn't about competition. It's about collaboration, about building a future together that's brighter because of each other's light. Your achievements are more than just bullet points on a resume or fleeting moments of glory. They are vivid, dynamic chapters in the incredible story of who you are. They reflect your struggles, your triumphs, and the resilience it took to get where you are today. And anyone who truly values you, who genuinely wants to be part of your life, should be ready to embrace every part of that story, not just the easy, polished pages. After all, the most beautiful stories are the ones with depth, with highs and lows, with moments of vulnerability and unshakable strength. A strong woman doesn't just read the book of your life. She joins you in writing the next chapter. Let your success be an open invitation for the right person to walk into your life with excitement, not hesitation, and together, write a story worth telling. Number 5. Protect your mental health. Let's dive into a topic that often feels like forbidden ground for men. Protecting your mental peace in relationships. Why is it that so many of us, strong and capable in other areas, neglect the very core of our well-being? The Stoics, wise as they were, taught us that the mind is our most impenetrable fortress. It's the one place where no one else should have the power to invade or destroy without our consent. And yet, countless men allow this sacred space to be battered and broken, often in the name of pleasing someone else or avoiding conflict. Think about it. We'll dedicate hours at the gym sculpting our bodies, lifting weights, and pushing ourselves to the brink to preserve our physical health. We hustle, grind, and strategize tirelessly to safeguard our financial health, building security for the future. But when it comes to our mental health, the most fragile and vital aspect of who we are, we let someone else's chaos, toxicity, or drama unravel us. Isn't that ironic? Isn't it heartbreaking? Let me tell you what I've learned. It doesn't have to be this way. Protecting your mental health isn't just an option. It's a necessity. I've seen men, good men, sacrifice their peace of mind trying to fix things or people that aren't theirs to fix. They give up their sleep, their joy, and even their sense of self, all for a love or connection that's supposed to nourish them but ends up consuming them instead. Here's my take. No relationship is worth your sanity. None. Because once you lose that inner peace, that fortress of your mind, you lose the ability to show up as your best self. For your partner, your family, your career, and most importantly, for you. And the harsh reality? Once your mental health crumbles, rebuilding it is a steep and painful climb. So, I urge you, with all the passion I can muster, To prioritize your mental well-being. Set boundaries unapologetically. Walk away from situations that drain you. Choose peace over pleasing. Because at the end of the day, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't build a meaningful life when your mind is in ruins. Protect your mental health. It's not just wise. It's essential for your survival, your happiness, and your freedom. As Marcus Aurelius wisely reminded us, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. This profound truth resonates deeply, yet in today's world, I've witnessed countless brilliant men, once confident, composed, and vibrant, transform into shadows of themselves. They become enslaved by their insecurities, checking their phones incessantly every 5 minutes as if their worth depends on a notification. They replay every conversation in their minds, dissecting words that likely meant nothing, overthinking to the point of exhaustion. Nights that should be restful turn into battlegrounds of sleeplessness, all because they're tormented by someone else's unpredictable mood swings. These men convince themselves that this torment is normal, that this is simply the price of love. They tell themselves that relationships are inherently messy and that this emotional chaos is the cost of connection. But I beg to differ. Love should never feel like walking through a minefield, constantly bracing for the next explosion. Love, in its purest form, nurtures and uplifts. It does not sabotage your mental peace or make you question your sanity. Let me say this plainly and with all the conviction in my heart. If your relationship is stealing your joy, robbing you of sleep, and turning your mind into a battlefield, it is not love. It's emotional warfare, a toxic game of manipulation and instability that leaves you drained and defeated. Life is too short, too precious, to spend it entangled in a relationship that feels more like a storm than a haven. True love doesn't wage war on your peace. It protects it. And until we start recognizing the difference, we risk losing ourselves in the name of a love that isn't real. The wisdom of the Stoics holds a timeless truth. Your mental peace is sacred, a treasure that should never be up for negotiation. It's the foundation of who you are, the essence of your well-being, and the source of your strength. To compromise your inner calm for a relationship, no matter how meaningful it seems, is to chip away at the very core of what allows you to love, nurture, and thrive. Think about it. If you allow stress, anxiety, and emotional depletion to take over, what version of yourself are you offering to the relationship? A shadow of who you could be, struggling under the weight of unspoken expectations and emotional burdens. And is that fair to either of you? The answer lies in the power of boundaries, those invisible yet inviolable lines that protect your mental sanctuary. Saying no isn't an act of rejection. It's an act of profound self-respect. Walking away from unnecessary drama isn't weakness. It's the ultimate declaration of strength and self-worth. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, even scary, especially if you're afraid of disappointing others. But ask yourself this: if someone truly values you, would they ever demand you to trade your mental health for their fleeting happiness? Would they place their desires above your peace? In my opinion, a person who genuinely cares for you will never see your boundaries as a barrier. Instead, they will see them as a testament to your self-awareness, your strength, and your commitment to being the best version of yourself. They'll recognize that your inner peace isn't just about you. It's what allows you to show up for them, fully present and truly loving. And isn't that the kind of relationship we all deserve? One where love and respect flow freely, untainted by the chains of guilt, obligation, or sacrifice. To protect your peace fiercely, unapologetically, and with unwavering conviction. The right people, the ones who truly matter, will not only respect your boundaries but celebrate them as a sign of your worth. And those who don't, they were never meant to be a part of your journey in the first place. Remember, your peace is the gift you give not only to yourself but to every relationship you hold dear. Guard it with all your heart. Taking care of your mental health is not just an act of self-preservation. It's a profound declaration of self-love and respect for your well-being. It's far from selfish. In fact, it's one of the most selfless things you can do for yourself and those around you. Think about it. How can you possibly give your best to others and offer love, support, and understanding if you're running on empty? It's like trying to pour water from a cup that's already dry. It just doesn't work. Your mind is the foundation of everything you do, from nurturing meaningful relationships to chasing your dreams. Without a healthy mind, it's nearly impossible to build connections that are genuine and fulfilling. And let's be real, your mental health affects every aspect of your life. It shapes the way you see yourself, the way you interact with others, and even the way you interpret the world. Neglecting it is like ignoring the very essence of what makes you, you. I believe there's a quiet strength in admitting when you're struggling and seeking help or rest when you need it. It's a brave act to prioritize your mental well-being because it means you're valuing yourself enough to heal, recharge, and show up as the best version of yourself. And isn't that what the people who care about you deserve? They deserve the healthiest, happiest, most balanced version of you. And most importantly, you deserve that too. Never forget, taking care of your mind is not just necessary. It's a gift to yourself and to the relationships you hold dear. Number 6. Be true to yourself. Let's dive deep into something profoundly significant. The beautiful, yet challenging, art of staying true to yourself in relationships. The great Albert Camus once said, "The moment you start changing who you are to please someone else is the moment you start losing yourself." Let that sink in for a moment. Isn't that one of the most heartbreaking truths about life and love? Now, reflect on your journey. How often have you sacrificed your authenticity just to keep the peace, to make someone happy, or to avoid conflict? How many times have you uttered yes when every fiber of your being screamed no? Think about those moments when you've smiled and nodded, pretending to enjoy something you couldn't stand or agreeing with opinions that made you feel uneasy, all because you feared being judged, rejected, or unloved. It's such a painful paradox, isn't it? In our pursuit of love and connection, we sometimes betray the one person we should cherish the most, ourselves. And the cost? It's heavier than we realize. Piece by piece, you give away parts of your soul, and over time, you start feeling hollow, like a stranger to your own life. But here's the thing, I believe that being true to yourself is the ultimate act of love, not just for you, but for those around you. Because when you show up as your authentic self, unapologetically, you give others the courage to do the same. You create relationships that are built on genuine respect, not on facades or pretenses. Isn't that the kind of love we all deserve? So let me ask you this. What would it feel like to honor your truth, boldly say no when your heart isn't in it, to proudly stand by your values, even if it means disappointing someone else? It might feel uncomfortable at first, but isn't your happiness worth it? Isn't your self-respect non-negotiable? I've learned that when you choose authenticity, you may lose people who don't align with your true self, but you'll gain something far more valuable. Freedom. Freedom to be who you are, to live your life on your terms, and to attract the right kind of people who love you for the real you. So today, make a promise to yourself. Never lose yourself to keep someone else. Because staying true to yourself is not just an act of courage, it's a declaration of self-love. And that is the foundation of every truly meaningful relationship. As the Stoics wisely remind us, the pain of pretending to be someone we're not is twofold. First, there's the exhausting, soul-crushing effort of suppressing our true selves, of constantly contorting and bending to fit into a mold that feels foreign and suffocating. Then, inevitably, there's the heartbreak of failure, because no matter how hard we try, living a lie is unsustainable. It's a losing battle that erodes not just our identity but our spirit. I've witnessed this painful truth unfold in the lives of strong, principled men who once stood firmly by their values, radiating integrity and self-respect. Yet, for the sake of love or acceptance, they've allowed themselves to drift, sacrificing their goals, their dreams, and sometimes even their relationships with those who truly mattered, like close friends and family. They mold themselves into what they think their partner desires, becoming performers in their own lives, excellent actors playing a role that was never written for them. And while they may convince others, or even themselves, for a time, the cost is devastating. I can't help but feel deeply saddened watching this transformation. It's a reminder of how fragile we can become when we seek validation from the wrong places, ignoring the profound wisdom of simply being true to who we are. To me, there's nothing more tragic than seeing someone lose sight of their worth, forgetting that authenticity is the foundation of all meaningful connections. True love or friendship never demands that we sacrifice ourselves. It celebrates who we genuinely are. Anything less isn't worth the price of our soul. But here's the raw and unfiltered truth, one that stings but liberates once you accept it. The very moment you abandon your authenticity and begin performing to fit someone else's expectations, you've already surrendered your essence, and with it, your power. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? The cruel irony is that in trying to mold yourself into what you think someone else desires, you lose the spark that makes you uniquely captivating. Instead of drawing people closer, you unintentionally repel them, because deep down, we're all wired to sense what's real and what's not. Authenticity has a magnetic quality, an unshakable power, that no amount of performance, pretense, or polish can ever replicate. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Think about it. Would you truly respect someone who hides their true self, bending and twisting to gain approval?
No.
And why? Because there's no courage in that. Staying true to who you are, your quirks, your flaws, your beliefs, requires bravery. It's the kind of courage that ignites respect and admiration in others. As the philosopher Epictetus profoundly stated, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid for staying true to what you believe. And isn't that the ultimate challenge of life? To walk your path, even when the world shakes its head because you trust in your truth. For me, that quote isn't just a call to action, it's a lifeline. It's a reminder that real growth isn't about pleasing the crowd. It's about standing firm when the crowd misunderstands you. That's not weakness, it's strength in its purest, most beautiful form. So, I beg you, don't trade your authenticity for fleeting approval. The cost is far too great, and the reward is far too hollow. Embrace who you are, boldly and unapologetically, because the world desperately needs more realness. And that starts with you. So, what's the solution to this exhausting cycle of trying to please everyone while neglecting your own heart? It's time to embrace the power of saying no. It's time to let your authentic voice be heard and to stand unwaveringly in your values and beliefs, no matter how uncomfortable it might feel at first. Yes, the truth is, some people won't like it. Some may even drift away from you, and that can sting. But think about it. Wouldn't it be far better to stand tall, alone but free, knowing you are living true to yourself, rather than living a lie to earn the approval of others? Isn't your peace of mind worth that temporary discomfort? Let me tell you, the right people, the ones who truly matter, will never demand you to dim your light or contort yourself to fit into their mold. They will see you, in all your raw and imperfect glory, and celebrate you for exactly who you are. Better yet, they will inspire and challenge you to grow, to evolve into the best version of yourself. Not someone who feels like a stranger in their skin. It's scary, isn't it? To risk rejection, to risk loneliness, for the sake of self-respect. But trust me, it's the most liberating thing you will ever do for yourself. True connection isn't about changing yourself to fit someone else's expectations. It's about being unapologetically you and finding those rare, beautiful souls who will love you not despite it, but because of it. Remember, every no you utter to protect your authenticity is a yes to your happiness, your freedom, and your worth. Number 7. Don't sacrifice your goals for others. Let's take a moment to address something that has crushed the potential of far too many good, hard-working men, sacrificing their dreams, ambitions, and personal goals for the sake of a relationship. It's a heartbreaking reality that unfolds all too often. Out of love, devotion, or even guilt, many men set aside the very essence of who they are, the driving force behind their happiness, for someone else. While relationships should be built on love, mutual respect, and support, They should never demand that you give up on the vision you hold for your life. Seneca, with his timeless wisdom, put it beautifully when he said, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to waste their time chasing what they can't have." Think about that for a moment. Life is short, and every second matters. The tragedy lies in pouring all your time, energy, and effort into someone else's dreams, losing sight of your purpose, and forgetting that you, too, have aspirations worth fighting for. I've seen this happen to men I admire, and it's devastating. They start with so much potential, a fire in their hearts, and a clear vision for their future. Then, piece by piece, they let that vision slip away in an attempt to make someone else happy, sacrificing their goals, their joy, and ultimately, their identity. It's a slow, silent erosion of the soul, and by the time they realize what they've lost, it's often too late to reclaim it. Don't let this be your story. Love should elevate you, not chain you. True partners in life will encourage you to chase your dreams, not demand you sacrifice them. You are not selfish for wanting to pursue your goals. You are not cold-hearted for refusing to compromise on what makes you feel alive. Remember, if you let go of your ambitions, you're not just giving up on yourself, you're also denying the world the unique contribution you could make. Your dreams are valid, your goals are worthy, and your life is just as important as anyone else's. Hold on to them tightly. Love passionately, yes, but never at the cost of losing yourself in the process. I've seen men make heartbreaking sacrifices in the name of love, convincing themselves it's the noble thing to do. I've watched them put their careers on pause, turn their backs on golden business opportunities, and walk away from lifelong passions, all to mold themselves into someone else's vision of what a life together should look like. They whisper to themselves, "This is compromise. This is what love demands of me." But let's be brutally honest, this isn't a compromise. This is a slow erasure of the soul, a sacrifice of your very essence. The cold, gut-wrenching truth is that when you abandon your path to walk someone else's, you're not just giving up your dreams. You're giving up pieces of who you are. Your passions, your ambitions, your identity. All of it starts to slip away. And for what? To fit into a life plan that was never truly yours to begin with? What breaks my heart is what comes next. Years later, these men often wake up feeling hollow, staring at a version of themselves they can barely recognize. They look in the mirror, and all they see are echoes of the man they once were, now lost under the weight of unmet dreams and unspoken resentment. The sadness, the frustration, it's unbearable. They ask themselves, how did I end up here? Why didn't I fight for my dreams? Love should never demand that you lose yourself. It should inspire you to grow, to chase your goals, to become the best version of yourself, not a shadow of someone else's expectations. Seeing men fall into this cycle of self-abandonment feels like watching a slow, painful tragedy unfold, one that could have been avoided if only they had believed they deserved to keep their dreams alive while loving someone else. As Marcus Aurelius profoundly stated, look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look. These words hold an eternal truth, a reminder that within each of us lies an unshakable core of resilience and purpose. Yet, how often do we forget this when faced with the complexities of love and relationships? The true tragedy isn't merely in forsaking opportunities. It's in eroding something far deeper, respect. Not just the respect of others, but the irreplaceable treasure of self-respect. And let's face it, respect is the bedrock of any relationship worth having. Think about it. Can anyone genuinely admire a person who abandons their purpose, their fire, for love? Sure, they might admire the sacrifice in the moment, maybe even feel flattered by it. But over time, that admiration fades, giving way to a quiet, perhaps unspoken disappointment. They'll look at you and wonder, where did the driven, ambitious person I fell for disappear to? This is where the hard truth lies. Love should never demand the surrender of your dreams. It should never require you to dim your light just to let someone else shine. The solution is simple but profound. Nurture your dreams like they are the very essence of your being. Chase your goals with relentless passion. If your partner wants to walk that path alongside you, welcome them with open arms. But never, never derail your journey to travel theirs alone. True love doesn't ask for that kind of sacrifice. A real partnership, one built on mutual respect and love, does not stifle your journey, it elevates it. It strengthens both of you, allowing each person to grow individually while building a life together. The right person won't feel threatened by your ambition. They'll celebrate it. They won't compete with your dreams but will fuel them, cheer for you, and take pride in your victories as if they were their own. True love isn't about subtracting pieces of yourself to make someone else whole. It's about multiplication, adding value, joy, and meaning to each other's lives without losing your sense of self. Love, in its purest form, makes you more, not less. So, keep looking inward, as Marcus Aurelius urged. Hold on to your dreams with fierce determination, for they are the compass that guides your life's journey. The person meant for you will honor that compass, not try to spin it in another direction. Remember, love is not about choosing between your dreams and your partner. It's about finding someone who believes in both. Number 8. Prioritize family and friends. Let's dive into one of the most heartbreaking mistakes intelligent men often make: neglecting their core relationships, family and friends, for the sake of a romantic partner. It's a quiet tragedy that unfolds slowly, often unnoticed until it's too late. Plato's timeless wisdom rings true here. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is, of all things, most shameful and vile. The inability to balance love and loyalty to one's tribe is one of the most profound defeats a man can experience. I've witnessed it time and again. Men unintentionally, yet steadily, pulling away from their closest bonds. They skip dinners with their family, decline invitations from their friends, and abandon cherished traditions they once held dear. All of this, they tell themselves, is to prioritize their romantic relationship. But is it? What they're often doing is trading irreplaceable connections for temporary harmony, unaware they're severing lifelines they might one day cling to for survival. Think about this. No matter how fulfilling a romantic relationship may feel in the moment, human beings are never designed to thrive in isolation. The Stoics, in their boundless wisdom, reminded us of this universal truth. No man is an island, but every man needs his tribe. And here's the most gut-wrenching part. When these men finally realize what they've sacrificed, it's often too late. Their friends have moved on, family bonds have frayed, and if the romantic relationship falters, they're left standing in solitude, haunted by their choices. I can't stress this enough. Building a life where your family and friendships flourish alongside your romantic connection isn't just possible. It's essential. The strongest, most enduring relationships I've encountered are the ones where both partners not only allow but encourage each other to maintain healthy, vibrant connections outside their union. Why? Because no single person, no matter how wonderful, can meet every emotional need you have. And to expect them to is not only unfair, it's crushingly unrealistic. When you make the conscious effort to nurture your bonds with family and friends, you're creating a safety net of love and support that will carry you through life's inevitable challenges. You're also cultivating a relationship rooted in respect and individuality, where your partner doesn't feel pressured to be your everything. That kind of relationship is stronger, deeper, and far more fulfilling than one built on the shaky foundation of isolation. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you called a friend just to catch up or attend a family gathering without excuses? Don't wait until regret sets in. Start now. Prioritize the people who have stood by you, who know you, and who love you for who you are. Your future self will thank you, and your romantic relationship will be all the healthier for it. So, what's the solution? Cherish your friendships, nurture your family bonds, and hold on to the people who have been there for you through life's ups and downs. These relationships are more than just pleasant distractions. They are your lifeline, your safety net, and your connection to the broader tapestry of your existence. A true partner will encourage these bonds, not seek to sever them. If someone tries to isolate you from those who matter most, don't mistake it for love or protection. It's a form of control that suffocates both your individuality and your relationships. Think about your close relationships as a safety net stretched beneath the tightrope of life. When you're gliding across effortlessly, you might forget it's even there. But when you stumble or lose balance, that safety net is the very thing that saves you. Imagine cutting it away piece by piece because you're confident you'll never fall. The day you slip, it won't be there to catch you, and that's a pain no one should have to endure. Value these bonds, not just for the calm seasons, but for the storms you can't yet see. Number 9. Avoid excessive dependency. Let's talk about something deeply human but undeniably destructive: excessive dependency. This isn't just about relationships. It's about how we center our lives around external validation instead of internal strength. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless wisdom reminds us that we lose our power when we tether our happiness to someone else's actions or emotions. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Picture this: a man who starts as strong, self-assured, and full of potential gradually molds his life around another person. He checks his phone every few minutes, waiting for a message that never seems to come fast enough. His schedule revolves entirely around her availability, and when her mood shifts, so does his. Suddenly, his once bright world dims, tied to the fleeting approval of one individual. This isn't love, it's a surrender of the self. Here's the heartbreaking irony: the more dependent you become, the less attractive you appear. Neediness suffocates love like water dousing a flame. The fear of losing someone creates the very distance you're desperate to avoid. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them. No one wants to bear the weight of being someone's entire universe. That kind of pressure is exhausting, and it's not the foundation of a healthy, thriving relationship. The painful truth: when you make someone your everything, you risk becoming their nothing. You lose the qualities that drew them to you in the first place: your independence, confidence, and sense of purpose. Instead of being the solid, unshakable man they admired, you become a shadow, fragile, uncertain, and endlessly seeking validation. So, what's the solution? Build a life so rich, vibrant, and meaningful that a relationship becomes the icing on the cake, not the entire dessert. Cultivate passions that light up your soul, maintain space that's uniquely yours, and never forget that your value comes from within. A fulfilling relationship should complement your life, not consume it.